So today is June 26th or something like that. I don't know. Hey Google, what's the date of today? So I am going to the post office in Covington to surrender a mailbox key to Post Office Box 208, which I signed and got in the year of 1980. And the thing with it is that the real estate of owning a post office box, which is maybe yay big, it is so small, it's the smallest pigeonhole you can get. It met my needs for decades. This is a long time. So from 1980 to 2024 has been a long process, and over the last 2 or 3 years, the price of the post office box is going up so tremendously. It's going up higher than the rate of inflation. And at $196 this past year, I paid for the year 2024 in total. And when I went and gave the first key back the other day, the lady, Miss Peggy, at the post office, they didn't understand why it was done, and because we were curious, why was our mail not coming? And they said, well, you must have forwarded your mail or did a mail forwarding subscription, which we never really did. We inquired about it, but we never did it. But it seems to me the people there in January, when we talked about it, actually did it. So all of these months, for 6 months, we haven't gotten any mail. We just figured the months and year prior, we've been training all of the banks and credit card companies and the doctor's offices, everything that you can, just get it by email. Quit sending the physical thing and just go paperless all the way around, which is great. It almost negates, well, why do you need the fucking post office to start with these days? If it wasn't for the spam and the Clipper magazine and the car wash coupons and all that other elections, they wouldn't make any money at all. They just live off the money of junk and spam. So we didn't have a need for the post office box, and after we got this bill this year, I went ahead and personally paid the year, went to UPS and got a $50 a year virtual mailbox, which is my official and legal address now. It's even been changed to that on my voter registration card. So that works great. And that's for a 25%. No, that's a 12% of what I was paying, so it's really, no, that's right, 25%. So it's done really well. Everybody's been trained. And we just realized the other day that there was tape in the back of our box that we didn't see, and it had something written on it. So I reached in there the other day and ripped it off and pulled it through, and it had something written on it, which we didn't understand the code. So when I went back Saturday morning, drove several miles to get back to the fucking post office, the lady told me, she said, well, you closed your box up. So we had that discussion all over again. And then at the point, she said, well, if you would have done it in the beginning, you would have gotten a refund. I'm like, well, I did say it in the beginning. So she argued the point, and then after a little bit, she went on her computer and looked at it. She said, well, actually, you do qualify for a refund, Mr. Clifton. I said, well, that's great. So she issued a postal money order. Instead of the $198 that we paid, it was for $149.50, because she only acknowledged it from a date prior to my arrival here last Saturday. So at least I got, 3/4 of the money back. That was pretty good. I was happy about that. And we did a digital deposit. We took a picture of it and signed it, and we just put it back in the bank. I don't even have to go back to the bank. It's wonderful. So it just goes to show you that in these times, that the post office is really trying to rake it in, even on the people that own the key. Just the fucking key to the mailbox is a tremendous effort. And I can't imagine what the professional people, I'm giving up the smallest mailbox you can own. Anyone who's got anything bigger and going up, I can't imagine what they must pay. And the fact that you've been a long-term renter, leaser, or owner of this box and key has no bearing at all. They just figure, well, they're not going to change anything. Well, I started getting fed up with it all last year and began telling everybody, you need to start sending this, you need to start sending this, etc. We got a bank thing that sends out trust, quarterly or yearly trust information. And I found out from that legally, I can have them actually send that to the bank, any bank branch that the trust department of my bank stuff is with. And then I can get in touch with it. I can go in there and get it, drive by and go pick it up. I can have a bank officer scan it in a PDF and send it to me by email. So I actually don't even need the physical mailbox anymore. But for $50 a year, I figure I'll just go with the one at the UPS shipping station and stick with that. So today I'm here at the post office, and this will mark the end of an era. So from 1980, which is when I owned my first house in Abita Springs, and that was an interesting story because I got a post office box in Abita Springs where I grew up, and my parents lived across the street, and the post office there was always getting my parents' mail and mine always mixed up. I'd get theirs and have to bring it to them. They were just across the street, and then it was vice versa. And then my business stuff started going in the mailbox there. So I figured, you know what? I'm going to totally change towns. I'm going to give up my mailbox in Abita Springs. And I went, and after having the one in Abita for a few months, maybe in 1979, I went into Covington and got a post office box there in 1980. So this key surrender today will mark the end of a great era. And I could tell you what, I could really live without the United Postal Service very easily. Have a great day. Toodles for now.